forget the ties and gadgets for a second, okay? Let's talk about something a little more unexpected when it comes to men's gifts. Hong Kong style. Ready for this?
Yeah, hit me.
Orchids.
Orchids.
Orchids, yeah, you heard that right.
Right.
Not exactly the first thing that pops into your head, right?
I mean, it's not the most common thing, I guess. At least not where I'm from. But in Hong Kong, it's a different story, you know?
Yeah, and that's what we're diving into today. So fill us in.
Okay, so in Hong Kong, orchids, they've got this certain, like, cachet.
Yeah.
They're associated with success, luxury.
Okay.
And, yeah, even masculinity.
Masculinity. So we're not talking about your grandma's windowsill orchids here.
No, definitely not. These are like high-end, you know, they make a statement.
And you've been spending some time on a Hong Kong florist's website for this deep dive, right?
Yeah. I've been digging deep. It's been interesting.
So break it down for us. What's the deal with orchids as men's gifts? How did that even become a thing?
Well, so it used to be that orchids were, you know, very feminine, the whole beauty, grace, that sort of thing. But things started to change towards the end of the 20th century. A new class of businessmen came about, and they had a lot of economic power. And orchids, they kind of became associated with that ambition and achievement.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they became a powerful symbol for men, too.
Huh. That is fascinating how that shift happened.
Yeah, and this florist's website, it really highlights that change. You know?
Because they specialize in gifts.
Exactly. They actually specifically call out orchids as a top choice for men's gifts. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, so they're leaning into that whole cultural shift. Interesting. Now, I was clicking around the website, and they seem to feature Phalaenopsis orchids a lot.
Yeah, the Phalaenopsis, they're pretty popular.
Is there a reason for that? Like, is there something special about that particular type?
Well, for one thing, they're known for being super elegant.
Yeah.
And they bloom for a really long time. So they give off that vibe of, like, refined taste. You know, you appreciate the finer things in life.
Okay, so it's all about the image.
Pretty much.
And they've got them in, like, a million different colors. I saw purple, white, yellow.
Oh, yeah. The color options are endless. And each color actually has its own meaning.
Oh, really? There's like a whole color etiquette to this.
Oh, absolutely. Color symbolism is huge, especially in Asian cultures.
So like purple, for example, what does that signify?
Well, purple often represents wealth and royalty.
Ah, I see.
So if you give someone a purple orchid, you're basically saying, hey, I wish you continued success and prosperity in, you know, a very elegant way.
It's like a whole secret language of gift giving.
It kind of is.
That's so interesting. I did notice, though, that some colors of orchids on the website are pricier than others.
Yeah.
Is purple considered, like, more premium?
May have picking up on it. You're totally right.
Okay, I'm learning.
Yeah, purple, with that whole royal connection, it's definitely seen as more luxurious. And so naturally, it tends to cost a bit more, supply and demand, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's fascinating how these things all tie together.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so we've established that orchids are a big deal for men's gifts in Hong Kong.
For sure.
But it's not just about the orchids themselves. There's a whole deeper meaning behind it, right?
We're really sort of get a sense of, like, just how much thought goes into gift giving in Hong Kong. It's like a whole art form.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's not something you just, like, throw together at the last minute.
Right. But it's not all orchids all the time, is it? What about other gift options?
Oh, they've got plenty of other options, don't worry.
Okay, good.
So they also have these, like, gift hampers, right? Gourmet food, premium brands, that kind of thing. They even have fruit baskets, but, like, really nice ones. Oh, so we're not talking about, like, the basic fruit basket you pick up at the grocery store.
No. Think, like, exotic fruits, you know, the works.
Okay, so still fancy. It's like they're curating an entire experience with these gifts, not just a present.
Exactly. It's about showing that you put thought into it.
Right. And I noticed on the website, they use a lot of specific language when they're describing these gifts for men.
Oh, yeah. Like well,
they use words like stylish, refined, even minimalist.
Right. It's all very deliberate, you know?
So what's the message there? What are they trying to convey?
Well, I think it says a lot about how masculinity is viewed, at least in that specific cultural context.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like even the language around gift giving reflects these deeper cultural values.
Absolutely. Okay, so going back to the gifts for a second.
Yeah.
I did see that they had some succulents and tropical plants listed. I'm curious. Do you remember seeing those?
Oh, yeah. I definitely saw those. What's the deal with those?
I'm wondering if they hold any special significance, you know, like the orchids.
Yeah, good point. Because it's not just any plants. It's like specifically succulents and tropicals.
Right. And when you compare them to the plants they recommend for other occasions, It's interesting.
Oh, how so?
Well, for men, they tend to go for succulents, cacti, snake plants, that kind of thing.
Huh. I didn't even think about that. And those are all pretty low maintenance, right?
Exactly. And they have that modern, almost architectural look to them.
So it's like even the plants themselves are an extension of that whole stylish, minimalist vibe we were talking about.
Right. It's all connected. It's about practicality, but also like making a statement.
Okay, that's really interesting. I never would have thought about it that way.
It makes you see gift giving in a whole new light, right?
Totally. So we've got these orchids with all their symbolism, these gourmet gift baskets, these carefully chosen plants.
Mhm.
It seems like personalization is like the final touch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A handwritten card, a personalized message, that kind of thing. It shows you went the extra mile. They actually emphasize that a lot on their website.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're really big on the whole personalization aspect.
It makes sense, though, if you think about it. Hong Kong's a really bustling city, right?
Yeah,
Super fast-paced. Everyone's always on the go.
yeah.
So in that kind of environment, those little personal touches probably mean even more, you know?
That's a really good point. It's like in the midst of all that chaos, you're creating this little moment of genuine connection.
Exactly. It's about cutting through the noise and showing that you care.
So it really seems like in Hong Kong, with gift giving, it goes beyond just the gift itself.
Oh, sorry.
It's the message behind it, the thought you put into it.
Yeah, it's about showing you get it, like
Oh.
you understand their taste, what they value.
Especially in a culture where like sophistication and those things are really important.
Exactly. And it's this cool mix of like keeping those traditions, but also being really modern about it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So for our listener, maybe they're thinking, okay, I got to up my gift game now.
Right. Hopefully we've inspired them a little bit.
What are the like big takeaways here from our Hong Kong deep dive? What have we learned about gifts for men?
I think the biggest one is like we can ditch the whole no flowers for men rule.
Yeah, that definitely went out the window.
Gone. Especially in Hong Kong, orchids for men, that's a good thing. It says a lot. Success, good taste.
Yeah, and that whole masculinity thing we were talking about.
Exactly. It's a way more thoughtful gift than like another tie.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. And I think the other big thing we talked about is how important personalization is.
Oh yeah, huge. It's not just about the gift, it's the whole experience, right? That
Yeah.
personal touch makes it special.
Right, and picking something that fits their style, that shows you put some thought into it.
Exactly. It's like you said, it gives you this little peek into what a culture values, their traditions and what's important to them.
Totally. So, to everyone listening, I hope this deep dive got you thinking about gift giving in a new way. It's definitely given me some things to think about. That's it for this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one.